back together, and in the middle of the night we drove back into Thailand, and then this thing came home. And I once saw one of these at the art shop, and I think they wanted 250 grand for it.
Okay, so my
take some notes.
My next question for you.
They have nothing to do with what you're going to ask me, by the way, but I'm going to take some notes because I've got other ideas in my head right now while I'm cooking for dinner, so I want to take some notes.
I'm appreciating the free legal advice because it seems like half of my friends are getting divorced these days.
It ain't free. Free is the birds and the air. Lawyers cost a lot of dough. Okay,
well,
next point.
Okay, because everyone seems to be getting a divorce right now or something like that. I don't know what's happening.
Hallelujah. I mean, what a country we live in. Is this great? Thank God I don't have Hillary anyway.
Okay, so tell me, because I have friends, I'm not saying who.
I'm a lawyer, I don't.
Recently separated. What do you do when you separate? Because people are separating and they're just sort of getting their own apartment. I don't know. I'm hearing that if you leave the home, you're abandoning your kids, you can lose access to your kids. I don't know what to do when you decide to separate.
So I always work from the point of view of what's a judge going to do, right? My world is, what will a judge do if I appear in front of him or her and say, here's the problem, I need a solution. The first problem is, judges generally like status quo. So leaving the house is no big deal if there aren't kids. The house is just bricks and wood. Mm-hmm. It's going to get sold. The worst that's going to happen, I've had this happen, is you got a really unhappy ex-spouse in the house. One time I had a guy in there who kept feeding the dog cabbage with crap all over the carpets every time someone was coming to view the house. I mean, there was dog shit everywhere. And we finally had to get a court order to get this guy out of there because he was going to frustrate every sale. But short of that, your average normal garden variety separation, I've only had one guy take a bulldozer and actually flatten the house in 31 years. And I give the guy some credit, he had moxie. Another story for another day. So it's just bricks and wood. It'll eventually get sold. Your friend's going to get her 50% of the house. But you said kids.
There's kids.
Total game changer. Total game changer. You walk out the door and leave the kids with your ex. The Children's Law Reform Act, which is the statute that governs kids in custody, says that parents have equal custodial rights to kids until there's a court order or an agreement that says otherwise. Or, and here's the big but, the other big but I'm sitting on, the big but is, if the parents separate and the children are left in the primary care and control of one of the parents with the knowledge and consent of the other, that establishes what we call de facto custody. De facto meaning in fact. We got to put de facto there to confuse you people, so you got to pay us. That means your friend's walked out the door, she's left the kids at home with Sparky, and now a month's going to go by, 2 months is going to go by, and 3 months is going to go by, and things are going to get nasty, it's going to grow 6 heads in the tail, and then he's going to go, Stugats, I'm keeping the kids, you gave me primary custody, good luck, and you're going to see them on every second weekend, and now your friend's going to freak out. Don't leave the kids in the house. Take the kids with you, or stay in the house. If it gets nasty, you got to call the cops if it gets really nasty. But in the meantime, this is something that needs immediate legal advice. And there's no reason she can't get immediate legal advice. Don't take excuses that I can't give you an appointment until 6 weeks from St. Swithin's Day. That's nonsense. I can see anybody, any day. She might see me at 5 o'clock in the morning. She might have to talk to me at 8 o'clock at night. But this is urgent stuff. Really urgent stuff.
Okay. No.
So tell her don't leave the kids. The kids go with her, great. And the other thing is, unless your ex is a child murderer or an axe murderer or a child molester rather, both of these parents should see these kids.
Yeah.
There are times when you've got a really bad ex. I mean, I've dealt with suicidal exes, I've dealt with serious pothead exes, well, that was Justin's divorce. Anyway, serious crackhead exes. There are people that shouldn't be around kids and you need to be judicious. Nobody knows better than the parents. And anyway, Kelly did this gig in Toronto, and she does these really super high-end chocolates that are made all in-house. These are my favorites. These are the Alexander McQueen skulls. Check this out. Alexander McQueen skulls.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kelly. And Kelly does all my special baskets every year for my special kids. And you can...
Am I getting one of these?
No, your kids are. The problem is the last 2 years you told them that it was poison, they couldn't eat it, and you glommed them all, but I now have you on video and you're screwed.
Well,
you will now give this to the kids. And so, so my buddy Scotty, who's a Scotsman, we sat there and we didn't consume the opium, but we did bring some booze with us.